What can I say about the Journey excursions? For this city girl from New York, walking across the suspension bridge, being in the state parks and seeing coyotes.
There's a lot of new experiences. You know, we've zip lined before, we kayaked before. Personally, I've never kayaked.
I biked the Magnificent Mile, almost died and cried at the same time.
I will tell you this, you'll be stretched out of your comfort zone like you've never been before.
Janet and Tom and Melinda are extremely skilled at creating a safe space for these people to really just be themselves and recognize who they are. It's very powerful.
One of the most kind of challenging but really unique memories that stands out for me was at a retreat in which we went canoeing.
Well, the canoeing experience happened at Turkey Run. And you know, the funny thing about it is I've been canoeing several times before, no problem. So I really didn't have any fear about going on a canoe. And I was with Jessica. It was a beautiful day. And I don't know, it was one of those things that just happened slow motion. And there's a point in it where you know it's going to go bad and there's nothing you can do about it. For whatever reason, our canoe got pulled over into a tree that was down in the water, stuck our oar out to brace ourselves, which is probably exactly the opposite of what you're supposed to do. And when that happened, we flipped. I've been cold in my life, but never that quickly or that cold. It was freezing. So we're in the water. Some of our good friends later joined us, and then we proceeded to, as a team, pull each other out and climb out.
It stood out as such a unique experience, but there was this community of people that kind of pulled together to like, how are we going to get out of this absolutely cold, freezing water together?
You know, it's one of those things I think that it ended up being a really good experience. You learn something about people when you're climbing up trees that you don't know about them beforehand. And you see them in angles that maybe you haven't seen them before as well.
But it was about relationships, right? And like helping each other and really bonding. We had so many laughs in just trying to get out of the water and get out on the bank. And I've used that in some way as a metaphor of how we've connected, right? We've connected in a way that supportive of one another, and you can't anticipate that experience, but that has stood out as how do you replicate that? You can't put that in a workshop.
It's funny, every time we get together, that comes up. It's definitely an experience, I think, that brought us together.
So many experiences along the way, but that one, I think, was a retreat and a moment where we were all in. We were all in the water, and we were all in supporting and caring for one another to get out of there.
One of the most surprising things that we did in the journey was zip lining. I'm terrified of heights, and we also did it over water, and I'm terrified of drowning. So those were two of my biggest fears. We were supposed to be thinking about this thing that was going to make us take a leap, and all I could think about was dying in the moment. And so it wasn't until afterwards that I really got to reflect back on what facing my fears did for me in that moment, in my career especially, because I think I had underestimated what I could do because my fears were always holding me back.
So the other night we went contra dancing, which I'd never done before, and I was terrified. The first couple dances I had anxiety, I didn't want to do it, I tried to keep making excuses to like slip out of the dance, but everyone from the journey just kept coming around me and pushing me in and encouraging me, and It became the most fun experience of this retreat for me. It was so much fun, just trying the new dances and connecting with people, and I was so outside of my comfort zone. It was insane. Normally I'm the one tripping over everybody and falling over and being like, I can't dance at all, but being able to do that and just have all the other Journey fellows dancing too. And if we made a mistake, it was totally fine. And I kind of made it my own. Like I started making up my own dances when I was off on the side, jamming off and just being me. And it was amazing. The Journey is so empowering.